Hey, thanks for watching. This video is about installing LED bias lighting on my 70-inch TV. I decided to save a little bit of money, and rather than buy a pre-made kit, I just decided to buy a long 16-foot LED string and cut it and do everything myself. So anyways, let's get started. Now, while I go ahead and open this up, I'll kind of mention what I mean by a kit. Some of these kits you see for the TVs come in ranges from, they'll say like, oh, this will fit a 55 to 65 inch TV or a 55 to 70 inch TV. And they seem to cost a little bit more money, but the strips are pre-cut for you, and which is kind of nice. But what I decided to do was save a little bit more money, and I would just buy a real long strip and go ahead and cut it myself and make sure everything fit. Now, this kit has two reels, and it's two reels of 16 foot 4-inch strips. So that's kind of one of the nice things is each reel has like 196 inches. So basically I didn't have to really worry, because some of these kits that were this one fits like a 55 to 70 inch TV, they really they said the LED strips were like 120 inches of LED strips. Well, kind of when I was measuring my TV, I was thinking I kind of need more in the 130 140 range to put the LEDs on the outside. So anyways, that's kind of why I went that way. And then I also had to buy some separate connectors, so just some 90-degree connectors to go ahead and attach these. Another option, instead of using connectors, I've seen people fold over their LED strips, or they'll put a loop in it or something like that. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to use connectors. Now, I've used this brand before, so that's kind of one of the reasons I also went with this brand. I've had it for a few months above my countertops or cabinets in my kitchen, and it looks really good, and it's kind of been trouble-free. So I decided to just stick with the same brand. Another reason was I wanted to try an RF remote rather than an infrared remote. So this remote with this kit is RF, so that basically it didn't need the line of sight, so I don't have to be aiming it directly at my TV when I go to change the colors and everything. And the connectors, I haven't used these before, but basically these are just supposedly a 90-degree connector that you can kind of cut the strips. The strips will have markings on them where to cut, so it's kind of nice, and you can just go ahead and install these 90-degree connectors, and it should be a pretty easy install. Basically these are just like the ones I had in my kitchen, where it was you plug the lights into the RF controller, and then you can plug the controller into your power supply. So anyways, these connectors look like they'll be pretty cool too. They should just make this install go pretty easy. Hopefully we just plug and play. Okay, here's my fancy diagram. Basically, I just went ahead and drew on this box kind of what I want to cut these at. I just kind of took a quick measurement of my TV, and so I kind of knew where to measure these and cut them. Now, I didn't mention this earlier, but these have a connector on one of the ends, and then they have this sticky back tape on the back. So this is how it's going to stick to the TV. It's got some 3M tape. So basically, you just want to make sure you use that connector on the end. That's going to kind of be where it plugs into the controller. So just kind of plan your cuts around that. So basically, that's what I did. And as you can see here, I just kind of measured it out, kind of knew what I want. And of course, 35 inches I couldn't quite get, so I had to back it up a little bit and kind of so I can get one of these spots to cut with these 4 pads that you could see, those 4 copper pads. So anyways, I kind of did as close as I could, but some of these didn't quite be as long as I wanted, just because of that 4 inches between cutting marks on here. Now here's the second one. I'll just go ahead and cut this. Again, these little 4 pads are kind of where you can cut. They got some scissor marks on there, so it was pretty easy to cut. I just used normal scissors, and it cut super simple. So basically I decided on my TV I was just going to do the top and the sides. I really didn't want a light strip on the bottom. So basically I just needed 3 strips, and I was able to do that out of 1 reel. Now this is one issue. See how this has that rubber coating on the end? Basically it would have been better if I bought some that weren't waterproof. But what I had to do here was take a razor blade and kind of cut that, and then peel off that little bit of rubber coating before I put these connectors on. But as you can see, I mean, they worked fine once I got that peeled off. It really wasn't too hard. But again, you can find some without that waterproof coating on there. Just buy some of the non-waterproof ones, and it probably would have saved a little bit of time on that, which would have been, would have been good in the long run, hindsight. Another thing I decided to do was, once these are stuck on the TV, I didn't want to risk having to take these off because the connector wasn't making contact. So I went ahead and I soldered those joints down. Excuse use my soldering iron, probably not needed, but I want to do it anyways. So here's a top view. You can kind of see basically, sorry it's such a crappy picture, but basically what I'm doing is I'm just kind of sticking this on my TV and kind of doing it by myself. So I just kind of running it down and sticking these LEDs on the back. I kind of put it about an inch in from the very edge and just kind of peeling off that tape and then kind of sticking it where I want it. So anyways, simple install like that. Now here you can see I got the lights on. You can kind of see it behind the TV. It's about an inch from the edge, and everything's working good. All the lights are lighting up. So basically, I'm happy and doesn't look like I broke anything. So that's always a plus. Okay, here they are on the TV. As you can see, I'm just kind of toggling some of the colors back and forth. It does look kind of weird through the camera. You don't see really that pulsing effect when, when I'm looking at it with my eyeballs, but I guess the camera, the frames per second or whatever, it's kind of showing that. So anyway, that's a little bit weird, but it's kind of solid colors when you actually stare at it sitting in your, in your room. So I'm flipping through the remote. There's a lot of other features it can do. It can do, brightness. You can change the color. You can change the speed of some of the patterns and everything. So anyways, I think I'm gonna really like this. Kind of relieve a little stress from my eyes when the room's dark. Should be good. Well, that's the end of the video. I'll go ahead and post links below of what I purchased just so you can check it out. In hindsight though, it did make it a little bit more difficult than it probably needed to be because I had to peel off a little bit of those ends because I did get the waterproof LEDs and I might have been better off going with the non-waterproof. So that's just something to think about. Otherwise, I'm really happy with these. They seem to be working great. If you like the video, I always appreciate likes. That's really cool. And, it's totally awesome if anybody wants to subscribe. I mean, it's cool. I don't have many subscribers, but that's always awesome if anybody's willing to. So anyways, thanks a lot for watching and everybody have a great day.